In today's video, I'm going to drop the 5 best classes to use in Modern Warfare for Season 2. And these classes are for people that like to run and gun. As me personally, I like to run. I've never had the patience to sit in a corner or camp in a room. So the classes I use are all geared towards moving and complement the way I like to play. So if you're like me and have a short attention span and find it boring sitting still staring out a window and would rather be moving, these will be the 5 best classes for running and gunning in Modern Warfare. Use these classes and you will be shredding the opposition and literally dropping them like flies. What's going on, people? I'm hoping everyone's having a great day. You're back in the building with higher level focused gaming. Welcome to my channel. I'm your host HLF and I'm here today with another Modern Warfare video. In today's video, I'm going to drop my 5 best classes for running and gunning in Modern Warfare. Now these are the classes you can use and run around with and totally body the opposition. Now there won't be any shotguns in this, as I know one-shot cheese can be very annoying. Today we'll be focusing primarily on assault rifles and SMGs. These are the 5 best class setups I've come up with to help you play as aggressively as possible in Modern Warfare. These classes are exceptional and most definitely use them if you can't sit still and have to move around constantly. These will be the 5 class setups for you. If you enjoy my content, please like, comment, subscribe, and also push that bell for notifications so as not to miss any future videos from higher level focused gaming. Also, comment below if you could let me know what your favorite class to pick up when it's time to smack up a camper. It could be literally anything, a marksman rifle, a light machine gun, even a crossbow. Anything. What's your favorite troll class for a camper? Anyway, let's get into the list. The first weapon is the M4, and even after its nerf it still reigns supreme. Now the first attachment you'll need to run is a barrel, Corvus Marksman Custom. This is a very good barrel and this will give you damage, extra bullet velocity and recoil control, making it easier to pick off people at distance. The cons are aim down sight speed is slower and you will lose a little movement speed. The rear grip I use is the same for most of my guns you'll find, and I find that the stipple grip tape is one that you can't go wrong with, and this will give you back the aim down sight speed that you lost and also boost your sprint to fire speed. And being that this is a runners gunners class, nothing comes in quite as handy as sprint to fire speed. Its cons are it will take away a little aim instability, so to combat this, stick on an underbarrel. I roll with the Commando foregrip, which will give you back aiming stability with some recoil stabilization. Its downsides is that it removes some movement speed, so to balance this out, we're gonna run the no stock option, which will give you back the movement speed and some aim down speed with a little negligible loss in aiming stability and recoil control. But being that this is an M4, it's barely noticeable. The last thing I equip would be a 60 round mag, as when you're moving around the map, there's a large possibility you'll run into more than one enemy, and having a large clip, which is basically 2 default clips, will guarantee that you don't get caught lacking in the ammunition department. It also takes away a little movement speed, but at the expense of so much ammunition. This is so invaluable. The next gun on my list is the MP5, and it's one of my favorite and probably the best at close and mid ranges. Though not quite as versatile as the M4, it's no slouch. Now the first thing you want to run is the barrel, the monolithic integral suppressor. This gives you sound suppression and extra bullet velocity. The cons being a reduction in aim down sight speed. So once again, I drop the rear grip, the stipple grip tape, which gives you back the aim down sight speed that you lost, and also the added benefit of increasing your sprint to fire speed, taking away just a little in aim instability. So to balance this out, I have equipped the underbarrel, the Commando foregrip, to add that aim instability back and also give you some extra recoil stabilization. Its only downside is that it affects movement. So to combat this, we want to select the stock, the F-TAC collapsible, which adds movement speed and aim down sight speed straight back. Though you do lose a little aim instability and recoil control with this, as a trade-off, it's completely worth it. Now for ammunition, I tend to equip the 45 rounds, as in public matches you are very likely to run into multiple enemies. So having a clip that can drop 2, sometimes 3 people is priceless. The next gun on my list is the GRA 556. It's an amazing assault rifle. It has the movement of an SMG, and for running and gunning, I don't think there's a better gun in the game. I run it totally different to all my other assault rifle classes, as it's small. Attachments which usually slow down ARs work really well on it. The first attachment I usually like to equip is an optic, this being the Cronen 945 Mini Reflex, just to make it more precise at long ranges. Being that I prefer not to run any barrels on this AR, I drop an optic. This slows down ADS speed, so I run a rear grip which is unique to the GRA, and this I go to the first selection for, and this one is the XRK Void 2. This gives back the aim down sight speed which I lost because of the optic, and also adds sprint to fire speed. Its downsides being it takes away a little aim instability and recoil control. So to combat this, I drop on the stock, the FSS Blackjack, which adds aim instability while taking away a little aim walking movement. To balance this out a little more, I drop the Commando foregrip to add recoil stabilization and aim instability. The only expense being a reduction in movement speed, but this being the smallest air assault rifle in the game, with it moving like an SMG, this downside is almost unnoticeable. As usual, I drop on the 60 round mag for ammunition, as you can never have enough when running and gunning. The next gun is the second best SMG after the MP5, this being the PP19 Bison. The barrel I run on the Bison is the 8.7-inch polygonal barrel, which adds damage range and bullet velocity at the cost of a slower ADS speed. So to combat this, I drop the Corvus Skeleton stock, which adds back ADS speed and aim walking movement, with the com being aim instability. So I equip the first sight on the list, which is the Monocle Reflex sight, which adds a precise picture and combats that aim instability. The only con is ADS speed. For this reason, I add a rear grip, this being the stipple grip tape, this being my go-to rear grip on the majority of my guns, as you can never have too much ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, with its only downside being aim instability. Lastly, I run the 84 round helical mags, its con being ADS speed and movement, though it being an SMG, that trade-off is negligible. My final class is the MP7, and on this you want to run the barrel, the FSS Recon. This gives you damage range, bullet velocity and recoil control. Its cons being aim down sight speed and movement speed. Dropping on the stock, the FSS close quarter stock will add aim down sight speed while taking away some aim instability. So to balance this out will be the Commando foregrip, which adds the aim instability and recoil stabilization while taking away some movement speed. As usual, I drop on my go-to rear grip, the stipple gear tape, which adds ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. For my final attachment, I drop on 60 round mags. As I always say, you can never have enough bullets when running and gunning. Now these are my 5 best classes for running and gunning in modern warfare. I hope you have the same fun I've had with using them. Remember, I stream daily on Twitch TV. Also catch me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for updates and announcements. And big up yourself if you made it this far into the video. You are the real MVP. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed my content, and also push that bell so you don't miss any future videos from higher level focus gaming. This is HLF signing out. Peace, love and blessings.